Hello, everybody. I think I've got this all set up right. Took a couple of minutes. Welcome to Tell You a Story. I'm Paul Stressner from Gen X Journeys, and I'm doing these live writing sprints to make some space for us that are working on projects, especially writing. And you don't have to be Gen X to join. I won't throw you out. But what we're gonna do is after a few minutes, I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes, and I'll give you time to work on whatever you're working on, and if anybody joins, feel free to hop on the chat, tell me what you're working on. We'll have a little conversation, and then we'll take a little break after the 20 minutes. I'll do a trivia question that has to do with the '80s or '90s, and then we'll do one more writing sprint, and I know for me so far, these have been working out. I've been getting my book done. I'm For my personal project, I'm writing a book called Journey of the Road Runner. It's road is spelled like Rhode Island because I'm from Rhode Island, and I'm running a race in all 50 states. And I'm writing a memoir series about it. So I'm covering 10 states in each book, and I've done 13 states so far. And so I'm almost done with my first book. So, with the first draft of my first book. So, almost there, seeing the finish line. And I'm trying to come up with themes for each of these, do something a little bit different. And today's theme is change the narrative. And I feel like, especially us Gen Xers, we got where we tend to like have gotten stuck in a rut doing because we were taught to go to school, get a good job, and you know, we saw our parents for the most part stick with their jobs their whole careers and everything, so we force ourselves into a career that's not aligned with us, and then we feel stuck and all kinds of things go wrong, and a lot of us are kind of awakening to that fact, and you just feel the urge to make some changes, and I'm urging you to make that change. Now, changing the narrative doesn't mean just changing for the sake of change, and it's not about blowing things up just because they're uncomfortable. If you thought you were if you like feel aligned with something, just because it gets hard doesn't mean to give up. You're just gonna take a minute and make sure that you're on the right path and just go through it and come out stronger. But then there are times where you're totally out of alignment, and you just need to make that change, and don't be afraid to. And sometimes we're like living a story that's outdated, and it might have fit once, it might have made sense to do that, and for a season. For example, I working as a computer programmer, but my passion is writing. That's why I'm doing these things. So now I'm trying to build a career in writing. So I'm making that change, and and then sometimes I'm not feeling it, and it's the same thing with my running. Sometimes, it's I'm having like an off day, I'm having a tough run, but it's just a matter of staying consistent. If you're aligned with that, and you just get through the hard days, and it's the same thing with writing. Sometimes you just not feeling it, and then you find that once you just start, you can just write anything. Say, I don't feel like writing today, just write pen to paper if you're in one of those moments, and then things will start clicking, and then you get on a roll again. You be happy you did that. So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm gonna probably set the timer now, and you hop in the chats anytime. I should be able to see it if this technology is working right. So we'll see. And in this will be available to watch anytime. So you can, if you missed any of this, you can just hop on. If you just want to make some time for yourself to work on something, sometimes we have a difficult time. We put everybody else first, and then we don't get stuff done that we need to get done. So you just make some time for yourself. All right, I'm gonna start the countdown, and I might need to adjust the time. It looks like it's set for 30 seconds, but all right. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you on the other side. time is up. It doesn't look like there's anybody on here. My screen looks foggy. And still not butter. All right. If there's anybody on here, how did you do? I did pretty good. I made a little more progress. I was getting on a roll here. I think I'm going to finish this chapter soon. Probably not tonight. And then after this chapter, I only have a closing chapter left, and then I can go ahead and start editing. So I'm getting excited about that. And now I'll do our trivia question. I'll make it, I don't want to put myself like, I don't want to make it, book themed every week, but this one is also a book theme. What Shakespearean character was modernized by Leonardo DiCaprio in 1996? And I still haven't seen that yet, but that's all right. Yeah, and then I also wanted to mention I've been at the company that I work for this year will be 30 years in June, and the founder of it, he just passed away sadly this week, Neil Papalato, and he was such a great guy, and he built an amazing culture. He was a genius. He created his own programming language. I work for a medical software company, and he just had an amazing presence, and everybody loved him. So so I just want to say that I'm thinking of him and his family and our family at work. So hopefully we will have some kind of memorial for him. So so that was a tough week, but so I just felt like I wanted to mention that. All right, and it doesn't seem that there's anybody on here. I think this is the fourth week I'm doing this, and I had one person on each week so far. So maybe somebody will hop on before the end of these next sprints. But for now, let's see the trivia. What Shakespearean character was modernized by Leonardo DiCaprio in 1996? And that is Romeo from Romeo and Juliet, I guess. And that was around the same time that Titanic was out. So yeah, he was the big actor at that time. Okay, let's see. Nobody wants to talk to me. That's all right. I'm gonna keep doing these anyway. I'm getting something out of this anyway. I'm getting my book done, and I'm just gonna keep doing this and keeping the space open for anybody that wants to join and have a space to do some work in. And I'd love to hear from people and give some feedback or whatnot. And the one of the first weeks I did, I think the second week I did this, I forgot to unmute myself when I came on, so my heart just dropped, and I was unmuted. Good. Whew. All right, everybody, we're gonna hop into our next 20-minute writing sprint to get things done, and then we'll come back to close things out and see how you did, if anybody has hopped on. All right, I'll see you in 20. We are back. How did everybody do? I did okay. I kind of hit a wall towards the end. I spent a lot of the day doing some writing at work. Actually, I write a newsletter for our group, so I was writing a tribute to our founder Neil. So it's kind of emotional. It took a lot out of me, but I got a really good article about him, so I sent that out. So very creative day today, I would say. But is there anybody here that wants to say what they're working on, how they did? You can go ahead. Oh, and I should also point out that tonight's beverage of choice was a sip of victory. And seriously, I had some bedtime tea because it's almost my bedtime. And good luck to the Patriots and the Seahawks and the Super Bowl next weekend. It's two totally different teams from the last time they played, so it should be interesting. Obviously, I'm a Patriots fan, being New England. And then I also got my bottle of water. So, all right. I'm not hearing from anybody this week, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep coming back every week. There might be some Thursdays that I'm not gonna be able to make it. I believe I have an event on. I believe March 5th is a Thursday, and I have an event with Craig Siegel I'll be at, so I won't be here that week. But as often as I can, I'm gonna try to do these every week. It's also helpful for me. So good luck, everybody, everything you're working on. And I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. I'll see you next time.